Hello, this is Tony Hiller from RealClimateScience.com. Most people over the age of 2 understand that snow is associated with winter and it's associated with cold, which is why global warming alarmists have been telling us for decades that snowfalls are now just a thing of the past. In 2006, the New York Times announced the endless summer, and they said it goes hand in hand with polar bears dying in the Arctic as the sea ice shrinks. Also in 2006, scientists said global warming will dramatically alter the U.S. Northeast. They said there was going to be less snow and we were running out of time for action to avoid such changes to the climate. In 2014, the New York Times announced the end of snow. And in 2018, the New York Times announced the demise of the Winter Olympics due to global warming. And just a few months ago, Bloomberg once again announced the end of snow. But now they're having a big snowstorm in upstate New York, and climate alarmists are of course blaming all the snow on global warming. They said the snow is falling 2 to 3 inches per hour and could reach 4 to 5 feet deep, making it one of the worst snowstorms to hit the region in recorded history. So let's take a look at the recorded history. This graph plots New York State average snowfall versus average maximum winter temperature going back to the year 1895. Just as a thinking person might expect, warmer winters have less snow and colder winters have more snow. Autumn North American snow cover has been steadily increasing over the last 50 years to record highs in recent years. This is because cold Arctic air is penetrating further and further south. And the same thing's been true during the winter. Now let's go back to the coldest 3-year period of winters in U.S. history, 1977 through 1979. National Geographic described 1977 as the year the weather went wild. The citrus crop in Florida froze and the northeastern United States was buried in snow. Buffalo, New York got buried under 10 feet of snow during the winter of 1976-1977. Watertown, New York, at the east end of Lake Ontario, got 71 inches of snow in 6 days. The snow was falling at a rate of 4 inches per hour, which was quite a bit faster than the 2 to 3 inches per hour in the current storm. Almost 2 meters of snow in a 6-day period is quite a bit. Norwalk, Ohio, at the western end of Lake Erie, was also buried in snow. I spent part of January 1977 in Boston and remember looking out the window and seeing an old woman bringing her groceries home, tottering over a massive pile of snow in front of her apartment. And at the same time this was going on in the eastern United States, the western United States was facing one of the worst droughts on record. California almost ran out of water. Drought in a dozen western states endangered the summer water supply. And scariest of all, Jimmy Carter was the president. President Carter said he was attacked by a rabbit while fishing in Georgia. During June 1977, I stepped outside of my office at Los Alamos National Laboratories and saw this. It was the start of the La Mesa fire, which ended up burning up much of Bandelier National Monument over the next couple of weeks. The area where that fire burned was a complete mess in 1977 due to decades of fire suppression, but now it's a much healthier forest. Pine forests need regular forest fires in order to remain healthy. When humans interfere with natural forest fires, they make the forest unhealthy. In February 1977, California imposed curbs on the use of natural gas to aid shipments to hard-hit eastern half of the United States, which was very cold and buried in snow. And at the bottom of the page they said, problems from climate changes foreseen in a 1974 CIA report. The CIA report said that global cooling threatened world stability. The CIA said in 1974, the new climatic era brings a promise of famine and starvation to many parts of the world. So in 1974, famine and starvation was caused by global cooling, but now they say it's caused by global warming. Scientists blame the drought on the polar ice caps becoming larger. Now scientists blame droughts on polar ice caps getting smaller. California Governor Jerry Brown said the state faced a drought disaster of immeasurable magnitude. And meanwhile, it was snowing in Miami, the only time that's ever happened. Alaska was warmer than Florida during January 1977. And then, not very long after Jerry Brown's California drought disaster, California was flooded with an excessive amount of rain. I was in Southern California during February 1978, and remember the rain was relentless and it was very cold. Experts say California is having the worst mega drought in 1,200 years, but their ski areas have opened up early this year because there's been a lot of snow. Taos Ski Valley in New Mexico is also buried in snow and they're going to open up this week. In 2017, California had their wettest winter on record. In 2019, Arizona's Snowball had their second snowiest winter on record and they were open into May. Some California ski resorts were open into July during 2019. 2019 was a record ski year in the United States, and 2020 would have been as well, except that the government shut everything down. Colorado had a record-breaking ski season in 2019 as well. Arizona had their snowiest day on record in 2020. The three best ski seasons on record at Squaw Valley, California occurred in 2011, 2017, and 2019. But of course you can't call it Squaw Valley anymore because you might offend somebody. 3 years ago it was still okay though when they received the most snowfall in the United States. I took this picture west of Boulder, Colorado on the first full day of summer in 2019. It was very cold and felt more like January than June. And I took this picture in Boulder, Colorado during Thanksgiving week 2019 when they had record snowfall. Last year during March, we had the largest one-day snowfall on record here in Cheyenne, Wyoming. And last December was the snowiest on record in California when they received almost 200 inches of snow in 1 month. Just a few months ago, Bloomberg announced the end of snow in America. But alarmists have changed their story once again and say that global warming causes too much snow. Toto loves a good clown show, and climate alarmists provide one every single day of the year. Toto has been pulling back the curtain on this massive scam for the past 14 years. You can visit him, Kyrie Caesar, Toki and Upla on the web at realclimatescience.com. And by the way, Toki and Upla are expecting to get some new brothers and sisters any day now.